Hello and welcome to another video, a festive video today. And today we are in the Zibo mod, the 737-800, and we're going to be going from the west of Ireland down in Kerry, and we're going to be doing a short flight today across to Dublin. It's going to be a short flight. I'm going to try and go through a checklist for you, we shall see how it goes. So let me get rid of that. Okay, so I'm in the middle of doing a flight plan at the minute, so I can bring the flight plan on the screen for you. Here we go. So we're going from departing from Kerry, EIKY, to Dublin, EIDW. Our proposed departure time is 10:30 in the morning on Christmas Day. There we go. Obviously we're using the Boeing 737-800 Zibo, the Zibo mod. We're expecting to depart from runway 08, and we're expecting to land on runway 28 left, but that could change during the flight. Everything else excuse me, everything else I'm going to leave on auto. So once we're happy with that, what we do then is we generate the flight like that. So once we've generates the flight, we get all this information here then. Our flight number, our call sign, departure, arrival, our alternative airport in case of emergency, the aircraft, and the date, our time, expected time of arrival, the air time and the block time, and obviously the airframe. We're expected to be climbed to be at 23,000 feet, and we've got a cost index of 76. Our route is 227 miles, and our load sheet is there. So we're expecting 184 passengers. Not too bad. I mean, I'll give that on auto, so he obviously automatically put the passengers in. Whether that's too much or for this kind of flight, I don't know, because it's a very short flight. But anyway, and we've got all our Zibo fuel weights and our block fuel needed and our baggage and everything down here, and then we've got our route here as well. So once we've done that, we can bring up the SimBrief downloader, which is how I do it when I use the Zibo mod in Xplain 12. And as you can see up here, it's already loaded for us because we generated it. If it hadn't generated for us, we would have pressed this to refresh it, but it does automatically. And as we come down here, then what we need to do is find the Zibo mod Boeing 737, and we can press the download button here. And it comes up with a warning. If you've already got a flight plan already saved in that file, it comes up with this. You can choose yes. You can choose always overwrite, so it probably won't show it again. But I'm going to choose yes, and then it comes up one file has been saved. So we can close that, and we can get rid of that off the screen. So that's the flight plan generated and loaded into the file location on the Zibo 737. Okay. So now we can get on about. Now we can start getting the aircraft ready to go. And let's just have a quick look outside. Obviously we've got the airstairs already there. Okay, I'm using my own checklist as well for you today. I'm going to bring that up on the screen for you now. The checklist I've written out for myself. just a mock-up checklist at the minute. I'm going to go through this today for you. It basically tells you all the information what you need to do from creating the flight planning sim brief, and obviously bringing up the sim brief downloader, and using the EFB, the views that I use, custom views I've set up in sim brief, and then obviously it tells you how to use the EFB and goes through a checklist to get the aircraft up and running from a shutdown, from a cold and dark situation to a shutdown situation on the arrival airport. It's a very basic checklist, but we're going to be following this today. We're going to see how we get on with it. So I'm going to be basically testing this checklist as well to make sure it's okay. So we'll see how far we get, see how we get on with the flight today. Okay, yeah, so this is explain 12.4. So this is the public beta version of Explain. So it's the new beta version of Explain 12.4. Is a public version, so you can actually download the latest beta version and try this out for yourself. I'm not going to go into too much detail what's included in this beta version today, but the one thing that I am going to say is included in this beta version today, if I come into options up here, now as you can see I'm in my options, my graphics options, obviously all my graphic options are basically all on maximum. And if I come across to VR and edge tracking, the one thing that 12.4 has brought out for Explain is has made Tobii eye tracker native to the sim, which means that you don't need any more plugins like X Camera, or you don't need to run the Tobii app in the background. You can do it all from in the game. These are my settings for Tobii, by the way. I've got auto center on, and I've got camera boost on 150% and camera boost dead center on 50%. They were left on default. Your sensitivity is on 100, pitch is on 100, roll is on 50 because I find it a bit too much. So I put it on 50, and the position is on 100, and I find those pretty much match the settings I use in Microsoft Flight Simulator 24, so those work for me. But yeah, this is new, so this has been obviously a feature that's been missing out of the game, a native feature, so now it's now included. And if we come into go into your keyboard or your joystick or whatever you're using, you can then add the buttons for it. Now it says here to set Tobii keyboard bindings, go to keyboard settings, all operation edge tracking. So if you go into keyboard and you go into all operation edge tracking, you can set a key binding. You can have pause Tobii edge tracking, which will pause it, reset it, which basically resets it back to its default position, or you can have toggle track IR control. I'll use the home key for this, and what it does is basically turns it on or off, and I'll show you that when we get in the aircraft. So it's good to put the keyboard commands or your joystick commands, whatever you're using here. I've just used this key. I haven't put anything else in for the other ones, so I'm just using the home key here because that's what I use in Microsoft Flight Sim as well, so I've kept it the same. So yeah, so and that's the one thing I wanted to show you what was new in trial point 4. There is a list of other things as well, which makes the game run better and probably gives you more frame rates and stuff like that. But I'm not going to go into all that on this video. I may do another video going through all that, but there's plenty of videos out there that have already done that, so I'm not going to go into that for you today. So let's go into the aircraft. So here we are then in the cockpit of the 737-800 by Zibo, the free Zibo mod. I will put the link in the description for you guys, so you guys can download it if you haven't already done so. Okay, so, and I've got some wing fuse set up as well for this particular flight. So that's the right side. Then we've got the left side. If I just cycle through my fuse, and you can set all these fuses up as well in the keyboard commands. I've got them all set up on 1 to 9. So that's 3, that's 2, and that's number 1. So you can set all these up yourself anyway. And I'll just show you how to do that. So if you go into keyboard, fuse, and you see I've got fuse 1, fuse 2, 3, 4 all located here, and I've got obviously to memorize, basically to save the few, like in Microsoft Flight Sim, Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, and when you you're satisfied with a few that you want, you press Alt 1, saves it, and then you press 1 for example, and then that loads that few back up and you can cycle through them, basically the same as on Microsoft Flight Simulator. And again, I keep my keyboard commands exactly the same as what's in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I've got the same keyboard commands as in Microsoft Flight Sim, so the keyboard commands that I use are exactly the same, so it doesn't confuse when I come into one sim or the other. Yeah, so we're at Kerry Airport. Actually, it's quite busy over there at the minute. I don't know if you noticed that flock of seagulls a minute ago come down. That's all default, by the way. I've not got anything that does that, but I've got the plugins I use are obviously XP UI PC, got Xchecklist. I've got Your Assist on there. I'm just trialing it out that minute. AviTab, which is for your Navigraph subscription, which I don't have at the minute. Better Pushback is a recommended plugin, and I've got little XP Connect, which obviously connects to a little nav map. Traffic Global, sorry, which is from a traffic program from Just Flights, and obviously got 737-800. Actually, I've got a bit of a cough coming, I think, so my voice might go a bit cranky at times. Okay, so let's get started anyway. So what I'm going to do, open ground services. If I go to the home key and you go to ground services, I'm going to connect the GPU, and I'm going to put the ASU on. I'm not sure if you need that on, I'm going to put it on anyway. The chocks are already in place. Okay, and obviously you'll check the wipers are in the right position, and obviously landing gear is down, lever down. Thrust levers are idle. Parking brake is on. Now you can go on the overhead panel. You can do it like this, or you can go on the overhead panel. My keypad, my quick view for that is keypad 4. Turn right as required. I tend to do this first because if it's dark, it's best to put like the dome light on, so it lights things up inside the cabin, inside the cockpit. Battery is here, and we're going to switch that to on. As you can see, it makes the aircraft come to life, so all the buttons light up. Obviously it's not quite at that stage yet because we've got to connect the ground power, which we've already done on the EFB, but we still need to do something on the overhead panel, which is click this button down. So this ground, it says ground power, GRD power, we need to click that down, and then the aircraft does come alive. Everything comes on, and you can hear these sounds as well. So the AC power selector, we're going to click to ground power. Panel lights and circuit breakers are here, so your panel lights are here, and your circuit breakers are there. We're going to put those onto full. Engine bleeds on, and they're both on by default. The electric 2 and 1, which are here, so we're going to click both of those down to on. Standby power, which is here. Auto, it's already on auto, so we just put the cover back down. Position lights are here, so we're going to click down the steady. Go-go lights, as required, but we're going to put them on. Wing lights, as required. We're not doing an external check on this tutorial, but if it was, we'd put the wing lights on, but we'll keep them off for this flight. Emergency exit lights, when you put down to armed, so we click that down to the arm position. Window heat, both left side on and both right side on, so that's your side forward side. The trim air, which is here, click that down to on. The recirculation fan, which is here, is on auto. It's on auto by default on my panel saving. It might be different on yours, but if it's not on auto, just click it down to auto. The left and right packs, we're going to put them on auto for now, but we will come back to those later on. Flight altitude we can set, and we are going up to 23,000 feet according to SimBrief. So we'll set that there. Landing altitude, we'll set that in the flight. But I think it's going to be about 300 for the landing altitude, so we can actually put 300 in there. I think it's about that, somewhere around there. I'll have to double check on it. Yaw damper, it says I've got yaw damper to click on. It won't click on yet, it won't click on at this stage, so we'll come back to that one. The VHF, nav and IRS, FMC and control panel, which is always here, should all be on normal. The source should be on auto as well, and the control panel should be on normal. Like it is. The left and right centre fuel pumps, I've got to on. I don't know if that's correct or not at this stage, but I'm going to leave them off for now, because I might have to come back to that. I don't think I'm going to have any fuel in the centre tank, but I don't switch them on at this point. but I've got them both on in my checklist. Don't know, for some reason I'll have to double check that. The AFT pump can obviously go on, and the Chrome only switch, click down to on. So the Chrome only switch, I don't think it's simulated in this 737. I think I've got confused there, and I think that's off another aircraft. It should be next to. Hey, it might be no smoking. I might have it down to something else, but I know that might be another aircraft. I'm not sure. But anyway, could be this one. That could trigger the EFB, which I'll come to in a minute. I'll show you what that might trigger, having that down to on or auto. At this stage I'm going to put the flight directors on both sides, and I'm going to set the auto brake to reject the takeoff. And back on the overhead panel, IRS is up here, and we need to click those to the line. On DC comes up, then goes out, and then we can press a line on both of them. And up here we will go to heading status, and that tells us we've got 8 minutes before the aircraft aligns. We haven't got to worry about that now. These screens will come alive and they'll all light up once the aircraft finishes aligning. We go to the FMC. Just clear this out the scratch up by pressing clear, enter IRS position. Okay, just clear all that. We need to press on our FMC there, pass in it, and if we click on copy last position into the scratch pad, click it and press here, it loads it up for us. And while we're in here, we can put in our departing runway code for Dublin, which goes there, like so. There we go. And at this point, we can start getting the aircraft ready to go. Over on the EFB, we can go press the home screen, and we can go to fuel and weight balance, and we've got a page in here called airside services, and we click on that, we have status not active. If we click the next page and we go down to load OFP, this will load our Simbury flight plan into the EFB in the Zibo 737. So straight away it loads the weights and the passengers into the EFB, and once it's done that, we can activate it, and then we've got status active. And at the minute we've got passengers 0%, cargo 0%, and fuel 86%. Now, over here we've got a fuel truck. Well, we've got payload first. So the fuel we required, the 5390 kilograms. Now if we bring our Simbury plan back over, we can see the fuel we need for this flight is 5.390 kilograms. So as you can see, that's the fuel we require right there. If we cycle through the pages, we've got our payload, the centre of gravity,
ground flight deck hose disconnected and starting refueling,
and all the passengers. And if we click on fuel, the fuel truck has already been called. So the fuel truck has already been called into the over here, so if we look, and the cargo as well. So automatically, it's all started automatically for us. By putting the single float plan into this, as you just seen me do, and activate, aeroplane has really started going through the motions of refueling, cleaning, and catering, and cargo loading. And once it's done that, the passengers will start to load. So if we go to outside, as you can see, the fuel truck is already loaded here, the catering is already on both sides, and the cargo is already here on main. And we've got obviously the ground power unit already connected. So that's how you do it in the Zibo mod. Don't know that that fuel truck is actually going, but anyway. I wonder if this is our, no, it's not our baggage. So yeah, so I wanted to show you guys that. So that's how you do it. And obviously you can press this if you didn't want to do it that way. But if you do it that way, it does it automatically for you. So you haven't got to do that. So we'll just keep our eyes on the stuff down here as well. Obviously that's the fuel we've got, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got enough fuel in the tanks now, so that's why the fuel truck left, because obviously we got the fuel, done fueled it up for us. Okay, we would normally get ATC clearance. Okay, we'll use ATC. I'm going to use the default ATC that comes with the game. So we don't have to use ATC, by the way. I'm going to use it. And unfortunately, to use ATC, you've literally got to put your flight plan in here. It doesn't do it from single. You've got to enter it yourself. You can also generate in there, or you can copy the route from Simbrief like this. So you can copy it like that. Where I've highlighted, so you've got Curd, Sutex, and you can add all these into the flight plan. So you can go Curd 3D, and you can put Sutex. You can put Cur and ECT. And then Sutex, and then Sut E3L. And then we can follow a flight plan. Some fields above need your attention. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Unknown navigate curve 3D. So it doesn't quite recognise that one. Okay, it doesn't quite recognise that one. Yeah, I don't normally use the ATC, but that's how you would do it if you wanted to use the ATC, or like I said, you can just auto-generate by doing something like this. And then you can file a flight plan like that. And then you can request the clearance.
Ride at 11:22, alone, home 737-800, request IFR clearance, Dublin. Cleared IFR Dublin route, as filed, maintain 4000, squawk 1103, QNH 1010. Ride at 11:22.
Yeah, the ATC isn't great in explaining. It's okay, but it's not great. I don't normally use it. I just use it just to get my initial route, the squat code and stuff. I didn't need to use ATC today. Obviously, as you can see, they're not exactly talking back to me. I don't know why. Maybe there's something to setting. I don't know. But yeah, they're not talking back to me. But anyway, they've cleared us on our IFR. It says maintain 4,000 feet, but I don't know how good ATC is. Going through the route review, when I use Microsoft Flights, I'm using Beyond ATC, and that's normally pretty good. So we'll put 4,000 feet in the autopilot for now. See if we get affected, or see if we get, see if it works, see if we can go any higher. Once we've got past the our departure. The QNH is 1010. So we need to change this down here. So now we can change it to 1010. It should do it on each side as well for us. Yes, it's done that. And our squat code, if I come over to the center pedestal, is 1103, so we need to change this. So it's 1103. And while we're here, I'm going to put it on TARA. We wouldn't normally do that until we take off, but I'm going to do it now so I don't forget that. Yeah, once you've done that, you can get rid of the ATC window for now, because we don't need it for a bit. And while we're down here, I'm going to put the panel lights on, and that's the floodlight, but we don't need that today. Okay, so I'm going to continue now with the rest of the setup. Let's just check the EFB. So the cargo 100%. The packs boarding, set no smoking, switch to off, and then on to auto. So when it does this, when it tells you to do this, just basically do what it says. So the no smoking sign, we need to switch to the off position, then we need to switch back on to auto, and that will start loading the passengers in. Oh, and it started raining. Nice. Just trying to look at which time we got left on that. Okay, so let's get rid of the yokes. How much time we got left on the we've got a fault. Well, we've got a fault. Cycle IRS off. So we've got a fault on the iOS system. For some reason. So-called iOS off now. Okay, I don't know what that. I don't know what's doing there now. And no, it's not done the iOS properly. So that's what it's done. For some reason. It's done this to me before. It's done this to me before. I couldn't fix it before, because it did this before and I couldn't fix it. Unfortunately, unless I fix it, I can't use it. I might have to reload the aircraft. I might have to reload it. I'm going to reload it. Okay, it's done this to me before. The RS system. So I'm going to reload it and see if I can redo it again.
Continue to checklists.
Okay, it just means that we're basically back at the beginning again. So let's try it again. The battery on. Don't write as required. Let me just skip through this because you don't need to see all this again. But we'll just put that onto ground power. We'll put the lights back on over there, look, and we'll put ground power on. Engine bleeds on, electric pumps both on, standby power is auto, position lights steady, logo lights as required but we'll put them on, wing lights as required, emergency exit lights armed, window eats at the top here, trim air on, recirculation frames are both on auto, packs on auto for now, flight altitude is, well, that's already stayed in there, which is great. AFT fuel pump can go on, and let me just put the, so let's see if this works again. The try it this way first. Maybe I've got to do the FMC first before I do the iOS. Maybe I did it the wrong way around last time. It hasn't come with the reference to fill in, so let's see if that works. So let's put on both. Let's put both switches onto nav. Let's put the status back on. So let's see if that works now. Now you can enter the IRS position. Should be this one here, won't it? So we'll see if it works. Okay, so what we've got to do now, back into weight and balance, airside services, load the flight plan in again, activate, go back, we don't need the fuel truck, but hopefully that starts working. Go back to go into ground services, doors.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
The fuel truck came. Got those there, so we'll just see if it works this time. That seems to be working, so okay. Now we've got to do a flight plan again, haven't we? So DW 23,000 feet, auto generate, file flight plan, request
Kerry.
clearance.
Ryan 1122. Alone with Boeing 737-800. Request IFR clearance. Dublin.
Runway 1122. Cleared to Dublin. Good advice. Make 4 QNH103.
Cleared IFR Dublin route as filed. Maintain 4000. Squawk 1103. QNH 1010. Ryan 1122.
Runway 1122. Recycling.
Yeah, I'm just putting in the QNH code, which is 1010. The squat code is 1103. We've got on TAR, but that's already put in, so that's all fine. Just want to make sure the IRS loads correctly this time before we go any further. I think we've got a. I don't know. It either works or it don't. I find with it. I'm not quite sure what I've done differently. I did go into the FMC and set the airport first, but I think it's a bit on this whether it loads up with the IRS or not. So we're going to wait for the IRS to load up and then we can carry on with the rest of the setting up of the aircraft. Cargo is loading at 75%. Fuel is loaded, we've got no fuel in the centre tank, so we're not going to put the centre tanks on today. Yeah, we're just waiting for the IRS now to finish off. Loading. Yes, while we're waiting for that for a minute, I'm going to bring up this for you guys. This is the electronic flight bag user guide. This is for the EFB. So this is for this. So I'll bring that up for you. So it's a document that is it's a EFB manual. So this tells you everything about the EFB. And the reason why you probably need this is because if you do go into the EFB and you go into customize and configure, you've got all these settings that you can actually change in the aircraft, and this tells you how to do it and what setting does what, and also tells you how to save it and how to load it back up. But once you save it, it should load back up automatically next time for the particular livery aircraft that you're flying. But you can do it for per livery, per aircraft. Every aircraft can be different. But yeah, this actually tells you everything about the PA system, about what I'm doing now with the airline services. I've read up on it, and this showed me how to do it. I didn't know about it before. So yeah, this guide is quite an handy guide to have a read at and maybe practice in the aircraft, because it tells you a lot of stuff about the EFB, and the EFB can look quite daunting, can look quite complicated when you've got all the settings on there. But this manual is pretty much goes through everything about the EFB, and I'll put a link to this in the description as well, so you guys can have a look at it, read through it, and obviously configure your EFB to how you want it. So yeah, I'll put a note in the description to that, and a link to it. But yeah, it's a nice read to have for this particular aircraft. For PAX boarding, set no smoking switch to auto and on. So we need to go back to the overhead panel and put the no smoking sign onto auto and on. And while we're on here, let's just check. iOS it's not working. iOS isn't working for some reason. Let me just have a look. 7 IRS site faults. Just check on this. We are on ground power, I think. Yes. Okay. The iOS isn't working. I don't know why. Setting in here to set the iOS. Does this quite a few times when I play it. The iOS doesn't work on it. I always struggle to get the iOS on it. It either does it or it don't. Find nothing on it. Don't know what I'm doing wrong with the iOS, I really don't. I'm gonna have to reset this aircraft again. 1 second. Okay, so let's try this again, shall we? So in the FMC, pass init, and it's next page. So yeah, I got it completely wrong. It's next page. So in pass init, you don't click on this one. You have to click next page. I've got to put this in my notes. Click on next page, and you can choose the GPS out or GPS R. And that enters into the scratch pad. Then go back, and you put it down here. But EIDW, put that in there. But I'm not getting a I'm not getting the reference airport in there. I'm gonna have to reload the flight right from the beginning. Okay, well, it's gonna be a few minutes for me, but it'll be instant for you. So just bear with me. Let's try and do this RS position once again. Let's have a look. So we've got 3 minutes before it aligns. On the FMC we are back to this page again. So we need to set our RS position now. Don't use this one. It's been a while since I've flown this aircraft, which I should have mentioned. But yeah, so we don't use this last position here. Don't use that. What you need to do to fill this in, you need to click on next page and either select GPS L or GPS R. They're both the same, so just click on either one and that comes into the scratch pad. Then press the previous button and then press the key to fill in set IRS position. That now should set the IRS for us when it aligns. I was making a mistake earlier on in the video by doing this up here. Yeah. So yeah, I've not flown it for a while, so yeah, I got a bit confused, and I had to do a quick check on it. I've amended my checklist now, so I shouldn't have to. I probably won't do that one again. But yeah, that was the mistake I literally made. So we should be okay. We've got 2 minutes now, so we should all align. These screens should all come on, which you'll see when that happens. Fingers crossed anyway that it's all worked. So I'll just, once that happens, we can get on with the rest of the checking with the aircraft. And I'll go back to loading the passengers now. So we'll do that in a minute. Let me just make sure that the alignment is actually working. It's going to work. Just press F before we get back on the top. So we've got 1 minute until the system aligns. So at any time now, these screens should all start coming alive. We'll just, if you don't, we'll have another message in here. So let's just see if it gets open. That has now worked. It should do, because that's how you do it. Yeah, as you can see, yeah. The screen's starting to come alive now, see? That has worked. I'm just, look at all them seagulls out there. Wow. That's a lot of birds. Okay. So yeah, so that's aligned. We've got no faults. The RS display now is changed. We've got no faults, and the FMC has got no faults either. So I've redone my checklist to do that. So next time I use this aircraft or any 737, I shouldn't have that problem again. So let's just get on with the checking of the aircraft, getting the aircraft ready. Both flight directors and go on. Let's just passenger boarding, set no smoking switch to auto. I think I've done this about 3 times so far. By the way, you've got to press your mouse wheel. When it does that, you press your mouse wheel to press something down on the switches. I think most of the switches are actually operated by your mouse wheel, up and down. We get your takeoff on the brakes, auto brakes. I'll do that now. I've got clearance in from ATC, so I'm going to set up the FMC for you guys now to watch. So we're going to press route, enter the originating airport, so it's EIEW, it's already in the scratch pad. There we go. don't have to enter destination because we're using SimBrief. SimBrief should load. Let's see what happens. It should have a flight plan up link. There we go. So when you're using SimBrief, you always request the flight plan there, flight plan request. I was shown earlier in the video when I demonstrated how to generate it and load it into the game. And then when it comes up link ready, press on load. And then you get the cruise window uplink ready on the bottom as well. You can activate and you can execute. And then you can start going through your flight plan mode. So let's just clear the message out of the scratch pad. And we need to press perf init, which is here. We've got no press the button for the zero fuel weight, and it automatically fills it in for you. The cruise altitude is 23,000 feet, so we'll put that in there. If we go back onto SimBrief, I'll show you a good way of doing this. So we've got this page on SimBrief after we've generated our flight plan. We've got our fuel and stuff here, but if we click on Fuel in PDF, it comes up with this. And this is sometimes a lot easier to read than that one there, that page. As you can see, we've got all our fuel all planned here, look. Like so. And then we've got our cost index over here. So our cost index is 76. So if we just move off the screen. So where it's got cost index here, we're going to put 76 in there. Fuel reserves, I'm going to put 1.0 because we ain't got no reserves today. So that's fine. And I'm going to press execute. Click on the next page. If you go over to the EFB, if you click on like weight and balance, you click on your payload. See our payload is already, the aircraft's already being loaded up, so our payload has been done automatically because obviously we use this. Yeah, we've got 33%, 34% passengers loading. So all that's being loaded up for us. If you didn't use that feature, you can actually enter it all manually and stuff here, as well as the fuel. But because I use the airside services, it's all being done automatically for us. So we haven't got to worry about that. So we can go straight to M1 limit. Let's put our translate in 4,000 feet. Let's put our M1 limit in, and we can change all the takeoff limits if we want to. But we're not going to do that, we're just going to leave it as it is. Our takeoff is here, so we need to put flaps 5, so put 5 there, flaps. That gives us our QRH then, V speeds, so we just click on each one and it fills them in automatically. So our V2 speed is 137 plus 10, so it'll be 147. And we click our departure and arrival. I'm not quite sure if we actually got written as file Dublin climb via SHA 3A. So So let's just check with SimBrief to make sure what was our. So ATC wants to use SHA-3A, which is there, but SimBrief have got us down using Kerr-3D, which I'm going to leave as. So ATC won't be too impressed, but I'm gonna leave it as that. We're not going to do a departure at the minute, even though I think we'll be using SUTI 3L. I'm not going to do that yet. I'll do that later on in the flight. So we're just going to click on legs, and as you can see, the flight plan's not a long flight plan. This is obviously the flight plan we've got so far. But I can put the departure in. I can click on departure and add runway. Do that again. Arrival, sorry, not departure. So we need runway 28 out. So I'm going to do it now. Click on next page. ILS 28 left, and our arrival will be SUTI 3 out. SUTI 4 out. SUTI 4 out will actually be the same as 3 out, just that the navigation system in SimBrief and in the game is slightly different. So we'll do that, and then we'll execute it. Go back to our legs page, and then we should add our arrival information all in as well. There we go. Actually we've got a disco. So to get rid of the disco here, you need to click on Lampo, which is the one beneath the disco, go back, and then click on the disco, so we're moving the next waypoint up. So we're deleting the disco basically by moving the next waypoint up, and then we just carry on through the route and make sure there's no more discos in the route. As you can see, when we get to Sussex, we should be at 23,000 feet. And that should be it for the FMC. We've got a feeling now about cruise attitude is there, trans attitude. There's not much to do in here, so we don't need to really worry about the VNAV. Our program will give us our ETAs, our fuel en route, and our estimated times. Obviously ATC is inner. So yeah, that's really the FMC. On the co-pilot FMC, I'm going to put it into program mode. And just get rid of the ATC off the window. If we could change this down here to map mode, to plan, so go to plan mode, and we can change the range like this. We can check the route now. As you can see, we've got a strange loop here going on, and we're going out into KY010, and then just up the range. Yes, we've got a small loop. I don't know why we've got that. Maybe that's the departure. Let's just click on step. There. If I click on subjects, move subjects up to there and execute it. definitely check the
And
list.
ladies and gentlemen, mobile phone and tablets have been made to use for the whole duration of the flight in airplane or flight mode. If your device does not have airplane or flight mode, it needs to be switched off now and remain switched off for the whole duration of the flight. Thank you.
That clears it then. See, we ain't got the loop anymore. But yeah, we ain't got the loop anymore now. We've cleared the loop, so there was obviously something going on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of aircraft, you'll find the flight check the panel. Please close again. Press the button to close the flight transfer. Thank you.
No, we don't need that. So yeah, we got rid of that. So we just click off step again, and yeah, so that's fine now. That's the route. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So we can put that back onto map mode, and we can put the range as required. And the TFC traffic rings we can put there, and we can put the data on to get the constraints as well, which is already on. Okay, so I think we've actually finished, yeah, finished boarding, so that's good.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are all a very warm welcome on board this Ryanair UK flight, which will be departing shortly. Please double check your boarding pass to ensure you're on the correct flight. If not, please identify yourself to the nearest member of cabin crew. Today you're flying on a Boeing 737-800 series aircraft. Please move along the cabin and take your allocated seat as quickly as possible. Your seat has been allocated to comply with weight and balance rules, so for your safety, you must occupy your allocated seat. As we are expecting a full flight today, please place your small bags, backpacks and duty-free under the seat in front of you, with the exception for passengers sitting in rows 1, 2DA and F16 and 17. Thank you and welcome on board this Ryanair UK flight.
Okay, so boarding is complete. Let's go to the autopilot panel. Both flight directors are on. We want to put our speed in, which was 147. There we go. Heading will be runway heading, but I don't know it, so we'll do that when we get onto the runway. I'm going to press VNav and LNav. I don't know if vertical mode works with VNav, but what I do is just leave it on VNav and LNav. I normally put it on VS mode as well for initial departure, but we'll leave that. We've got level change. I'm going to put the on the auto throttle as well at this point. Altitude is set to 4,000 feet. If VNav works, it should go to the constraints. Right down there, it's got 4,000 feet anyway, so initial altitude, then we climb to 23,000 feet. We've set the map range as required. Press the data. We're going to put the weather on now. There we go, so we'll put the weather on. I put terrain. The train would normally go on this side, but we don't need it today. But if we wanted to, put the train on over on the co-pilot side over there. And we've set the barrow pressure, or the QNH. So that's all fine. Let's look on the outside. Okay, so almost ready to go. So
once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are all very warm and welcome on board this Ryanair UK flight, which will be departing shortly. My name is Sean, I'm your cabin manager today. Along with my team, Sarah, Jane and Sam, we are here.
Don't need pushback because we're facing this way, so don't need any pushback.
So we do ask for a few minutes of your time as we through the sea.
So I'm going to set the APU. I'm going to start the APU to start the APU now. So in order to do the APU, we have to check the APU down to start. And we get a low oil pressure that lights up there. And the needle here in the EGT will start to rise. And then once it settles down, you should get the lights up there, and then we put on the APU generators. See, it's starting to come back down, so it should start to stabilise. There you go. So now this is get up. We can put the buses on for the APU, like that. And then over here we can put the APU bleed on. And because we're now running off the APU, we can turn off the ground power. I think the ground power automatically comes off on the 737 once you connect to the APU. So over on the EFB, we can disconnect the ground power stuff from over there. Okay, and you can actually go to the back of the aircraft and you can see the pouring out the back of the aircraft there, so we know the APU is running, and you can hear it as well. So now we've done that, we can start getting the aircraft ready to start the engines. The isolation valve is on open. It's already on open. The APU is on. Engine bleeds are both on. The AC power will click back to standby. As you see, the cabin is ready because that's just lit up. Tell us that the cabin is ready. And we can put the left and right packs off, which you need to do in the 737 to start the engines. Seat belts can go on. PA is in use, so the cabin is ready, so that's okay. Obviously we need to put the fuel pumps all on, which I've missed off my checklist, or unless I've gone past. No, I haven't gone past them. I did go past them. Anti-collision light can go on down there, and we've done the electronic hydraulic pumps there both on. We've done them already, that's okay.
May we have your complete attention as we demonstrate
so
the safety features of this
and then the left
aircraft.
engine.
These features may differ from aircraft that you have flown on before. Please remove
There we're going
headphones
to
for
use
this
the
demonstration.
right ignition.
All emergency exits are
And I'm going to put
indicated
the
by a
engine
red
skip
exit
that
sign,
to
and
ground.
the footpath markings will guide you to the nearest exit in an emergency. The exits are located on both sides of the aircraft,
Just going to
at the
watch
front,
the
in the
N2
middle,
spool up there.
and at the rear of the cabin. All exits are also shown on the safety card. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency evacuation, you must leave all your hand
So
baggage
if you go back
behind.
25%,
To fasten a
start
seatbelt, insert
adding
the
the
metal
fuel.
end into the buckle and
So
secure by pulling the loose end.
we do
To
that by
open
that.
the seatbelt, lift the buckle cover. In case of a loss of cabin pressure, masks like this will drop automatically from the panels above your head. Remain seated and pull down firmly on the mask to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, secure with the strap, and breathe normally. Don't worry if the bag does not inflate. Oxygen is flowing. Fit your own mask first before helping anyone else.
When it does that, the switch will clip back to water, which is done.
Or in the
So
panel
we've got
above your head.
a good engine
If it's
start on the
needed,
right engine.
remove the jacket from its packet and place it
And we
over
do
your
the same
head.
then for the
Bring the strap around your waist,
left engine.
clip at the front, and secure as shown. To inflate the life jacket, pull down sharply on the red toggle. There is a mouthpiece for further inflation or deflation and a light to attract attention. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft. Before takeoff, please study the safety card located within the area you are seated, as it includes important safety information specific to this aircraft type. It is essential that cabin signs and instructions given by the crew are followed. We would like to remind you that smoking is not permitted anywhere on board. Your hand baggage must be securely stowed in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
That's my mistake.
And it must
I
not
should
lock
remove
any
those
eye
first.
or exit. Now please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened, turntable folded, armrest down, and window blinds open. For your safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times. Portable
So the
electronic
engine
devices,
switch should have
such
gone
as
back to
tablets and mobile
auto.
phones in flight mode, may be used
Like it has,
throughout
let's
the
put that
flight.
back to both.
Please select flight mode now and hold your device securely or place it in a pocket. If your device or its battery is damaged, hot, produces smoke, is lost, or falls into the seat structure, please inform the cabin crew immediately. Larger devices, including laptops,
on the overhead panel,
and
we can put the generators back on, 1 and 2.
Thank you for your attention. Please sit back,
Proby,
relax, and
A and B
enjoy the flight.
can go on. Wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice as required. We don't need those today. The packs I'm going to put on, you can leave them off till we take off for more power and more performance, but I'm going to put them on auto for now. Recirculation fans are both on auto. The APU bleed can now go off. Engine starters can turn to continuous. Your damper can now go on, and we can set the flaps to 5. I think that's set to 5, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. We need to do the trim wheel, so we should get trim in here. So go into M1 takeoff. We click on here, we've got CG, we click on it. Our centre of gravity then is 26.3% and our trim is 4.25. So if we come over to the trim wheel, which you've got to do it manually, we need to change it to 4.25 if we can. So we're just going to do it somewhere. I'm not quite sure what 4.25 is on this, but that should be okay there. And we can put that back onto legs. You can leave it in takeoff, but we'll put it onto legs. Okay, so we are actually ready to taxi at this point. So let's get ATC back up and
Kerry,
get taxi.
Ryanair 1122. Request taxi from 5-4 departure.
Ryanair 1122. Request start information next time. Please. Information X-ray current. Run
range. Runway 26, taxi via Alpha at runway 08. Hold short, runway 26, Ryanair 1122.
Okay, to IFR to Dublin, route is forward. Yeah, so going to be doing things a little bit differently from ATC today.
Cabin crew arm doors to manual and cross check.
On the overhead panel, we're going to put our taxi light on. Strobe light, click up to steady if at night. So we're on steady at the minute. The middle is off, and the top position is steady, strobe and steady. So we're going to leave it on steady for now. I'm not sure if you use it in the day, but at night time you have to leave it on steady, but I'm going to leave it on steady for now anyway, and that's it. So we're going to taxi to the runway. I'm pretty sure ATC wants us to use a different runway. I want to use this one to go, I don't want to go down there. So yeah, we'll see what ATC wants us to do. So we can take the parking brake off and we can advance the throttles. And like I said to you before about using track IR, if I press the home key on my keyboard, what the key button I've got to, which I showed you earlier, track IR is now working in the cockpit. I'm going to hold here for a minute and let the GA aircraft get in front of me. Time is it? 10:25, so we won't depart until 10:30, so we're not running late anyway. So we just get that GA aircraft go in front of us. Yeah, it's just there's obviously lights down here we can put on as well. If I just get the eye tracker off, so yeah, panel lights, we can put those on if you want to. Put the floodlight on a little bit there. He's obviously going down there. He's actually took off from there, so maybe that is the more taken off from there. Yeah, maybe I haven't got a backtrack, maybe that is the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, we'll get going and let's take off the parking brake again. So just give it a bit of throttle.
Flight 1122, contact Kerry Tower, 123.3.
I'm not at the runway yet.
Contact Kerry Tower, 123.
But I will do that once you get to the runway, of course.
1122, goodbye.
contact the
Kerry Tower, Ryanair 1122, on taxiway Alpha.
Ryanair 1122, Kerry Tower, below, hold short on runway 26, report landing.
Hold short on runway 26, will go, Ryanair 1122.
Contact ATC, request takeoff clearance.
No, get rid of that.
Kerry
Ready for
Tower,
departure.
Ryanair 1122, ready for departure.
Ryanair 1122, backtrack full length, runway 26, cleared for takeoff, wind 230 degrees 8 knots.
Backtrack full length, runway 26, cleared for takeoff.
So we
Ryanair
are got backtrack
1122.
then. Okay, yeah, just as I thought, we have got to backtrack onto the runway. So what we're going to do, because we're going onto the runway now, we're going to put both landing lights on, runway turn-off lights on, and strobe will go up down to strobe and steady.
Crew seats for takeoff, please.
And get a bit of throttle. Parking brake off, so we're taxiing down to the other end of the runway, and then we're going to come take off and go over that way. I didn't want to do that, I wanted to literally go from this end, but we'll do a backtrack. We're a bigger aircraft, so we probably need more runway than the little J aircraft. I'm not sure if we would have had enough runway to do it if you went from this end. And we'll backtrack down the runway. Got our wipers on. Okay. To stop. Get the turbulent tracker off. I'm just going to put the wipers off for this departure, for this one. Actually, I'll put them on. I'll put them on low because it is raining. We need to put the edit mode. So there's no sync option on the edit mode, so we've got to literally do it manually. So 247 is that runway heading. For runway 26, I've got to straighten the aircraft up as well. So runway 26 is 247. Obviously we didn't put that in. So yeah, 147. Hour nav and VNav already on. Chrono. Start the timer. Parking brake off. Let's just straighten up a little bit. Toga. Auto throttle wasn't on. Go.
Positive. 400.
Towards our pilot arm.
1000. To go.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
It's quite windy. Let's turn off the taxi lights. Guys back off. Turn the wipers off. Put the Q&H onto standard. Okay. It's doing something. Speed isn't working on the autopilot. over speed for some reason. I've got auto fault disengaged for some reason. Auto throttle is not working for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, 001.
So
Ryan 11.
why isn't auto throttle working? Need to take that off. So I'm going to put in 20,000 feet now for our initial altitude.
2,500.
Okay. Should.
119.075. Contact Shannon Control 119.075. Ryan
Should
11.
start climbing. We can go into VS mode and we can do it that way. The float level change is normally better to climb. So we'll do it like that. Okay, the autofocus seems to be working now. Okay, so when you're using VNav, it don't. Yeah, I see what it's doing there. VNav's doing the speed. I don't want to hold at 4,000 feet.
Shannon Control Ryan 1122. Up Sierra Hotel Alpha 3 Alpha. Altitude flight level 047. Flight level 230. Ryan 1122.
Ryan 1122. Turn left direct to Sierra Hotel Alpha.
Turn left direct Sierra Hotel Alpha. Ryan 1122.
He's not climbing for some reason. Let's try VS mode.
Ryan 1122. Radar contact.
Climbing, but it's climbing fairly slowly. Losing speed as well while it's climbing. Get rid of ATC because there's gonna keep telling me to I don't think auto throttle's working. It's on but it's not working. It's not holding down as 250, but it won't hold 250.
Ryan 1122. Expedite descent.
Expedite descent. Ryan 1122.
I don't know why autofocus not working. well over speed. Okay, it's somewhat weird going on there with the aircraft.
Turn left, direct Sierra Hotel Alpha, Ryan 1122.
Okay, is it working now? Because I thought I was moving back because we're going too fast. Let's see if it goes down to 250 and holds it. While we're doing that, let's turn off those. I thought it was going to work now. It wasn't working there a minute ago.
Line of maintain, flight level 230, Ryan 1122.
It's not climbing very good though either. Let's put the climb back up. I think it's working now. It's doing it on its own now, so. I think it's working. So we've got top of climb coming up here. So should
Fuel facing lights off. No pressure lights.
Let's go back into VNAV. Let's see if VNAV starts working. So it should now go to 311 knots. And we should start, it should come to 23,000, so it seems to be working now. Anyway, passing 10,000 feet, landing lights can go off, seatbelt sign can go off.
For your safety, we have to there are restrooms in the rear and front of the aircraft. We'd like to remind you that tampering will disable or destroying the smoke detector. Shortly, our cabin crew will begin in-flight service offering a range of records, software, and medicine available on selecting
I think ATC's giving up. He said it's not great. Let's have a look on that side. Forgot to turn off the APU. I just noticed the APU was still on. ATC is not too happy. Get rid of it. Don't really know what's going on with the ATC. Don't think it's working now. Just get rid of it. I don't think it's working. We didn't do our takeoff performance in there, so got our landing performance in there. Got our fuel there, which is coming down, as you can see. Over there as well. Top of climb coming up, so we are going to get there.
Thousand to go.
Lighting, cruise, passengers. Descent rhythm, max, move right over steps.
There we go, so we've got 23,000 feet. The speed should stabilise at 325 knots. And at Dublin we want to be at 17,000 feet. Let's see if the VNav excuse me. Let's see if the VNav actually works. Let's see if it does it. Otherwise we have to take over and do it ourselves. Let's look at these green fuse. Speed there. It hasn't done it at all. It hasn't done it. And again it's playing up again. Playing up again. Strange. Never does this. Waterfall's not working again. Never does this. I don't understand why it's doing it. Turn off the autopilot again.
Heading right, adjust track.
Autopilot back on. shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. Let's put feeding back on. Dublin, we want to be down, start descending to 17,000 feet. Let's see if it actually starts doing it. It might need us to put it in there. We should see if it starts doing it. Otherwise I'm going to put 7,000 feet in the altitude.
Heading bump, adjust track.
How'd you get rid of that from coming on? I'm up to 7,000 feet in the autopilot. I'm going to start our descent. Actually it was 17,000 feet, wasn't it? So it was 17,000 feet in the autopilot. Yeah, it's don't seem to be working. Level change is working. The VNAV don't seem to be working on the speed for some reason. Auto file don't seem to be working. Let's just reduce the auto file. See if it works now.
Heading bump, adjust track.
Just don't seem to be working that great. Altitude, descent and speed don't seem to be working. 7,000 feet. Let's descend. Okay, so we're speeding up on that one, so we can reduce the descent rate. Might need to put the speed brakes out here. Slow the descent down. Which I can't even move the speed brakes. Oh, I don't know what's going on tonight. what's going on tonight at the aircraft.
Heading bug, adjust track.
Still working. Speed brakes don't seem to be doing anything either. Really weird. Just gonna bring the speed down. Yeah, it's acting quite weird tonight.
Heading bug, adjust track.
My checklists, solid machine at 7,000 feet. We are well on. Do something drastic here. Don't know why we're so high.
Heading bug, adjust track.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly begin. Please return to your seat when the passenger seat and ensure your tray table is stowed. Your seat back is
Fuel facing lights, off, no pressure lights.
If you are seated by a window, please ensure the window is free.
Captain crew, seats for landing, please.
Left and right landing lights, on.
How do I get rid of that? Checklists. Don't keep popping up. Not yeah, the ATC is not working either. Doing good.
Thousand to go.
bring the speed down. Come down. Let's go to airports. Let's go into EW. Elevation 242, that's fine. Okay, I've got no see if the auto throttle's working. Okay, we're quite lower than what I wanted at this stage, but I decided to bring it down to 3,000 feet. We'll put it down to 2,500 when we bit, but at the minute we'll stay here. So landing lights are on, seatbelt signs are on. So we've got 111.35 in the down 1.35 IRS 28 left. Yeah, 111.35 CRS 277. So let's put the course code in 277. Go and do it over this side as well. Change the attitude to 2,000 feet. Okay, that's fine. So far. Side view. Video recording. I'll try that as well in a bit. So yeah, 3,000 feet pizza. We're already down at 3,000 feet, so it's fine. Let's bring the speed down. .65. Projected takeoff. Max. Turn the engine starters to continuous. I don't think you're it's not working, the ATC. It's not working at all. So 3,000 feet Pisa, Lampo 3,000 feet, max at 2,500. Okay. Approach speeds are here. Brakes on them. Don't need to come off. It's beyond that. The boat's down there. I'm just gonna into FS mode and get it down to 2,400. I'm gonna bring the speed down.
2,500.
Onto approach mode. Got CMD on as well. Got VRR load closer, load swipe. Change the heading to 277. Map mode. Stabilise in the middle. Captured the glow slope because it's got a green box around it. Of us.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
/P disengage, load button.
Okay, what's it doing here? I don't know what it's doing. It's nowhere near it. Oh, okay. That didn't work out.
100.
That was strange. I'm not quite sure what it did there. It's very strange. Really struggled there. I didn't want to go around. I'm gonna land it, guys. I ain't gonna go around. I'm just gonna bring it down and land
100.
it.
60.
Yes.
50.
We're gonna go off the runway,
40,
but I'm gonna land it anyway.
30. 20. 10. 5.
Yes. Okay. That didn't work out, did it? Wow. Something going on tonight with X-Plane. I don't know what's going on with it tonight, but it didn't want to work at all tonight for some reason. Let's just head back to the run. Let's head back to the I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't know what's going on with X-Plane 12 tonight. That isn't working at all tonight. In this video, that was disastrous. It wasn't working when I was using it earlier. It just didn't seem to be working properly. I am using 12.4 beta, which may be the culprit. But yeah, it didn't seem to want to work tonight. Yeah, the flight time's about 45 minutes. Even the flaps haven't come up, and I've pressed the button and they haven't come up either. I can't move from here. Stop on something. AI flight aircraft. See if we can get back to the airport and get to a gate. There's the airport. Down there. Turned it around, but now it won't want to move. I think we'll actually just leave it. First works. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. Can't get it back to the airport. That's a shame. Let's just go into here and just go change location. Let's try and get a gate at least. Okay, let's just go there. Yeah, so that's a shame. So yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight with it. It might have been me, but I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have to try it again. I had issues at the start though, so I don't know if that was. I don't know what caused that tonight. But yeah, it's a shame because I couldn't quite get the old flight done. So I'm gonna have to try that again at some point. But I shall leave this flight here. Yeah, we'll do the flight again at some point. We'll have another go in X-Plane 12, but it just didn't seem to be working from the start. I had a few issues at the start of it. The autopilot didn't seem to be working properly. I mean, I could have took over manual landing, but I wanted to see if it auto landed. I wanted to test the auto land feature out on it, so I could have took over manual landing, but I just wanted to try that, the auto land, see if the auto land worked. Didn't, so I'll have to remember that next time. But yeah, I'll leave this video here. So this was X-Plane 12, the Zibo 737. But I shall leave it there. And yeah, we'll definitely come back and try it again, X-Plane 12. But yeah, so until the next time, it's goodbye.